Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Raja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Raja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी श्रीराधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। Everyone please chant together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for coming for the Bhagavad Gita class. Every evening in the temple room here at 6 p.m. we have this Bhagavad Gita class because the Bhagavad Gita is such an important book. So I'll just say the prayer before we start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Before I begin to speak on the Bhagavad Gita, I just like to ask for the blessings of all of you. All of you are my seniors, and I am not qualified to be sitting here and speaking to all of you on the Bhagavad Gita, but the devotees have asked me to do it, and so I'll try to speak whatever I learned from all of the devotees who so kindly shared this most valuable knowledge with me. So to begin with, I think all of you are familiar with the Bhagavad Gita, right? Bhagavad Gita is a conversation between who? Yeah, Krishna and Arjuna. Sorry? Sanjay and Dhritarashtra, yeah, that too. So what happens in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita? Like, what is Arjuna's condition? How is he feeling? Depressed, yes. Distressed, yes. Confused, yes. Yes, so today we're reading from chapter 18, verse 73. But before I get to that verse, I'd just like to give a brief introduction of the backstory of the Bhagavad Gita. So in chapter 1, in the beginning, Arjuna is in this condition of complete confusion. So basically, all the warriors are there on the battlefield. This is how the Bhagavad Gita begins, with all the warriors on the battlefield. And then Arjuna asks Krishna, please draw my chariot in between both of the armies, so I can see all the people who have come here who I need to fight with. And then when Krishna takes his chariot in between both of the armies, then he looks at the opposing army with whom he'll have to fight. And there he sees all these personalities. He sees his grandfather Bhishmadev. He sees his teacher Dronacharya. He sees so many of his different relatives, his friends, so many people who he had a relationship with. And when he sees all of these people, he becomes completely confused and sad that how can I kill these people? How can I kill my grandfather, who was the one who brought me up, he cared for me when I was a child? How can I kill my teacher Dronacharya, who was the one who taught me all this knowledge of military art and all these different grades of my friends and relatives? But then at the same time, it was his duty as the king to fight. And so Arjuna was completely confused. I'll just read these a few verses here in chapter 1, where Arjuna is explaining how he's feeling. So this is text 28. Arjuna says, my dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. My whole body is trembling. My hair is standing on end. My bow Gandiva is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning. I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself, and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune, O Krishna, killer of the Keshi demon. And the last verse of chapter 1, it says, Arjuna, having thus spoken on the battlefield, cast aside his bow and arrows, and sat down on the chariot, his mind overwhelmed with grief. So these emotions and symptoms that Arjuna is going through, they're very intense. I don't think in my own life I've ever experienced such strong symptoms, or even seen anyone else experience such strong symptoms of anxiety, of confusion, of fear. Arjuna here, he says that his entire body is trembling. He says his skin is burning, his hair is standing on end. he says, the bow is slipping from his hand, his mind is reeling, and he's forgetting himself. It says he was crying. And Arjuna wasn't an ordinary person. Arjuna was the greatest warrior at his time. He was a Kshatriya, he was extremely powerful. Not only did he conquer all the kings on earth, but he even conquered the Gandharvas in heaven, and even the king of heaven, Indra himself. So we can just understand that we have this, like, the greatest personality in the world at that time. And he's going through such intense anxiety, such intense confusion. And so, so then Arjuna, in his complete confusion, he surrenders onto Krishna. Krishna is acting as his chariot driver, but Krishna is also his dear friend. So in this state of confusion, he turns to Krishna. And then he says this famous verse in chapter 2, text 7. Arjuna says, Karpanya dosho pahata svabhava prachami tvam dharma samudacheta yashre yashyanishtitam brohitanme shishyaste hamsadimam tvam prapanam. Arjuna says, now I'm confused about my duty, and I have lost all composure due to miserly weakness. In this condition, I'm asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I'm your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So then after this, Krishna then speaks the entire knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. And then after speaking the whole Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, then in chapter 18, text 72, which was the verse we read yesterday, Krishna then asks Arjuna that after I've explained all this knowledge onto you, like, how are you feeling? So he says, O son of Pritha, O conqueror of wealth, have you heard this with an attentive mind? And are your ignorance and illusions now dispelled? And so then now this brings us to today's verse, which is a very nice verse. It's Arjuna speaking after hearing the entire Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna then asks Arjuna, so like, how are you feeling now? Is your confusion gone? Are you still feeling super scared and anxious? And so now Arjuna is going to reply. So I'll just read the Sanskrit, and then you can repeat. Arjuna uvacha nashtamoha smritir labdha tvat prasadhan mayachyuta stitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. Arjuna uvacha nashtamoha smritir labdha tvat prasadhan mayachyuta stitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. Arjuna uvacha nashtamoha smritir labdha tvat prasadhan mayachyuta stitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. Arjuna uvacha Arjuna uvacha nashtamoha smritir labdha tvat prasadhan mayachyuta Arjuna uvacha Nashtamoha smritirlabdha Tvad prasadhan maya chita Statosmi gata sandeha Karishye vachanam tava. Word for word. Arjuna uvacha. Arjuna said, Nashta, dispelled. Moha, illusion. Smriti, memory. Labdha, regained. Tvat prasadhat, by your mercy. Maya, by me. Achyuta, O infallible Krishna. Stitaha, situated. Asmi, I am. Gata, removed. Sandeha, all doubts. Garishyasi, I shall execute. Vachanam, order. Tava, your. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Arjuna said, My dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt, and am prepared to act according to your instructions. Purport. The constitutional position of a living entity, represented by Arjuna, is that he has to act according to the order of the Supreme Lord. He is meant for self-discipline. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that the actual position of the living entity is that of eternal servant of the Supreme Lord. Forgetting this principle, the living entity becomes conditioned by material nature, but in serving the Supreme Lord, he becomes the liberated servant of God. The living entity's constitutional position is to be a servitor. He has to serve either the illusory Maya or the Supreme Lord. If he serves the Supreme Lord, he is in his normal condition. But if he prefers to serve the illusory external energy, then certainly he will be in bondage. In illusion, the living entity is serving in this material world. He is bound by his lust and desires, yet he thinks of himself as the master of this world. This is called illusion. When a person is liberated, his illusion is over, and he voluntarily surrenders unto the Supreme to act according to his desires. The last snare of illusion, the last snare of Maya, to trap the living entity, is the proposition that he is God. The living entity thinks that he is no longer a conditioned soul, but God. He is so unintelligent that he does not think that if he were God, then how could he be in doubt? That he does not consider. So that is the last snare of illusion. Actually, to become free from the illusory energy is to understand Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and to agree to act according to his order. The word moha is very important in this verse. Moha refers to that which is opposed to knowledge. Actually, real knowledge is the understanding that every living being is eternally a servitor of the Lord. But instead of thinking oneself in that position, the living entity thinks that he is not a servant, that he is the master of this material world, for he wants to lord it over the material nature. That is his illusion. This illusion can be overcome by the mercy of the Lord or by the mercy of a pure devotee. When that illusion is over, one agrees to act in Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is acting according to Krishna's order. A conditioned soul, illusioned by the external energy of matter, does not know that the Supreme Lord is the Master, who is full of knowledge and who is the proprietor of everything. Whatever he desires, he can bestow upon his devotees. He is the friend of everyone, and he is especially inclined to his devotees. He is the controller of this material nature and of all living entities. He is also the controller of inexhaustible time, and he is full of all opulences and all potencies. The Supreme Personality of Godhead can even give himself to the devotee. One who does not know him is under the spell of illusion. He does not become a devotee, but a servitor of Maya. Arjuna, however, after hearing Bhagavad Gita from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, became free from all illusion. He could understand that Krishna was not only his friend, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he understood Krishna factually. So to study Bhagavad Gita is to understand Krishna factually. When a person is in full knowledge, he naturally surrenders to Krishna. When Arjuna understood that it was Krishna's plan to reduce the unnecessary increase of population, he agreed to fight according to Krishna's desire. He again took up his weapons, his arrows and bow, to fight under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So this is the verse again. Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt, and am prepared to act according to your instructions." So this is the journey that the Bhagavad Gita takes us on. It takes us from complete confusion to complete clarity and confidence. It says that, actually Arjuna, he was a great devotee and a great personality. But he took this position of being confused for the benefit of all of us living entities who are suffering in this material world with so much confusion and so many different problems and anxieties. So he took that position of being confused, and suffering and illusion for the benefit of all of us. So, what is this illusion that causes us all this suffering in the material world? Forgetfulness of Krishna. And? Sorry? I'm this body. Right, exactly. Forgetfulness of Krishna and forgetfulness of who we are. And misidentifying ourselves with this body. Everyone in this material world, if they're not God conscious, they're just thinking that they're this body and the senses and the mind, and they think that the purpose of life is to gratify their senses. And so we can see all around us in the world that people are working so hard and they're struggling so hard simply to gratify the senses, because they think that that is the purpose of life, because they think that they are this body and these senses. But actually, that is not true, because actually we are an eternal spiritual soul. We're not material beings, and we're not this material body. We're spiritual beings. We're spirit souls, and we have an eternal relationship with Krishna. And so, that's why everyone in this world is stressed, depressed, or frustrated to various degrees, because we're all misidentifying with this body. Even if we are devotees, we can say that, yes, theoretically I know I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul. But then it's actually very difficult to fully act on that platform all the time, because for so long we've been identifying with matter. There's a nice verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya-lila, chapter 20, text 117. It says, "Krishna bhuli se jiva anadhi bahirmukh, ata eva maya tare deya samsara dukh." Forgetting Krishna, the living entity, the jiva, has been attracted by the external feature from time immemorial. Therefore, the illusory energy Maya gives him all kinds of misery in this material existence. So I was saying that because of forgetfulness of Krishna and our identity, and our original identity, that is the cause of all the misery that we face in this material world. There's also another nice verse. It's Bhukti Mukti Siddhikami Sakala Ashanta Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Ata Eva Shanta. So it says that bhukti means like sense enjoyers, those who are just trying to gratify their senses. Those are bhuktis. And then mukti means one who is after liberation, one who's seeking liberation. And then siddhi is one who is seeking yogic perfection. So it's saying that all of these people, the bhuktis, the muktis, and the siddhis, sakali ashanta, all of them are not peaceful. Krishna bhakta nishkama, only one who is a devotee of Krishna and who has no material desires, nishkama. Krishna bhakta nishkama ataeva shanta. Only he can actually be peaceful. Yeah, so this shows that the material desires is the cause of this confusion and this frustration that we all face. So when people in the material world who are not God conscious, when they face such confusion in life, what are things that people generally turn to try to get relief from material suffering? Intoxication, yes. Vacation, okay, yes. Sorry? The phone, yes, that's a good one. Yeah, so people take to all these kind of things. Many of them are just like, if you analyze it, it's more of just like a distraction than actually a solution to their problem. It temporarily, it'll take their mind away from the problem. But then these things all have, a lot of them have side effects, which after they put you into a situation which is even worse. It said that actually, the only real cure to misery and suffering that we face in this material world is spirituality, is spiritual knowledge. That's the only thing that can actually help us, because that is the only thing that will actually address the root cause of our suffering. And what is the root cause of our suffering? Forgetfulness of Krishna. And so only through spiritual knowledge, when we understand who we actually are, what our real purpose is, and how we're actually connected to Krishna, then we can begin to understand the cause of our suffering and how to get free from it. Yeah, so there's a nice, it said that actually only spiritual knowledge and spiritual people, they're the only proper solution to stop all material suffering. So we can see in the Bhagavad Gita that Arjuna, he was in this state of complete confusion, complete, you could say depression even. And then what he did was he went to Krishna, a spiritual person, and he surrendered unto him. He says, Shishyasteham sadhi mam tvam prapanam. He accepted him as a guru. He said, now I'm your disciple, a soul surrendered unto you, please instruct me. And so then Krishna, he imparted to him spiritual knowledge. So we can learn from this that when we face difficulty in our life, we should approach spiritual people and learn from them spiritual knowledge. And these two things can actually help solve our problems at their very root, so we won't continue experiencing them again and again throughout our life. There's a nice story in the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's the past life of Narada Muni that helps show the importance of these two things. How many of you know who Narada Muni is? Yeah? Who is he? Messenger, yeah? Yeah, he can travel all around. Yeah. Anything else about Narada Muni? A great devotee. Yeah, they say Narada Muni is called the transcendental spaceman, because it said that he can travel anywhere in the universe just at the speed of mind, without any plane, without any difficulty. Us, whenever we want to go somewhere, even if we just want to go to nearby country, we have to take so much trouble. We have to get a visa, we have to buy a plane ticket, then we have to plan the whole trip, wait so long in the airport. But Narada Muni, simply by in the speed of the mind, he can immediately go to wherever he wants, not only in this material world, but even in the spiritual world. Anywhere in the universe, he has the freedom to go. So it's interesting. Like, how did Narada Muni become so great? How did he get such a great power, such a great position? So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it tells the story of his past life, that he was the son of a maid servant. So he was not he didn't have any high birth. He was a simple boy, the son of a maid servant. But one day, some great devotees, they came to their house. And so, they stayed in their house for 4 months. It's known as the Chaturmasya. It's the rainy season. So in that time, it says that sadhus, they don't travel. Normally, sadhus, they're always traveling all around, preaching, giving spiritual knowledge to people. But during these 4 months, because it rains a lot and it's difficult for them to travel, they stay in one place. So somehow these great devotees, they came to Narada Muni's place, Narada Muni's home, and they were staying there. And during these 4 months, even though Narada Muni, he was just a young child at that time, he had a very good heart and a very good service attitude, and so he served these devotees with all respect, with all humility, with all care. And he served them very nicely, and these devotees were very pleased with him, and so they gave him so much spiritual knowledge. They taught him all about the scriptures, all about the purpose of life, all the knowledge of the Vedas. They taught Narada Muni as a young boy. That time he was not Narada Muni, it was his past life. He was the young boy. And so, this gave Narada Muni so much strength, so much knowledge. It said that after that, he was only 5, and already he didn't have his father with him. He was just staying with his mother. But then one day, his mother got bitten by a snake and she died. But then it said that even though Narada Muni, he was only like 5 years old, because he was, because of all the knowledge he had received from these great devotees, that he became so spiritually strong that he was not so affected even by his mother's death. It said he just went to the forest and he was practicing what these great devotees had taught him to do, to worship Krishna, to meditate on Krishna. And he was doing that in the forest. And then it said that through those practices that they taught him, he actually saw Krishna within his heart, and Krishna spoke to him. And then, so in that way, from receiving the knowledge from these great devotees, and through their association and through getting their special mercy and blessings because of his sincere service to them, that Narada Muni, he spent the rest of his life absorbed in practicing those teachings and living a life of devotion. And then when he left his body, he became the great sage Narada Muni, who could travel all over the universe. So that shows the powerful effect of these two things: association with pure devotees and receiving spiritual knowledge from them. And then, of course, practicing that spiritual knowledge in our own lives. There's also, this example is also shown by Srila Prabhupada, our teacher here. He went to America, and he didn't go to high-class people. It said he went to the Lower East Side. That was like where all the hippies were living. It was like some of the lowest people in society, they were there. And Prabhupada, just by, he would just give a class on Bhagavad Gita to them. He would invite them that please come. He would cook prasad for them, and he would give them his association and teach them the Bhagavad Gita. And just by doing this, gradually these people who were, before they were completely like low-class people, addicted to all kinds of sinful activities, that they became some of the greatest people in society today. They completely gave up all sinful activities and they took to spiritual practices. And through that they became such great people. Not only did they make their own lives so wonderful, but they helped thousands and thousands of other people to connect to Krishna and make their lives so much happier. So these stories show the power of these two things, of associating with devotees and hearing about spiritual knowledge. And it says that, the proper way of to take advantage of devotee association. Because, we're very fortunate here. We're now in the temple, and there's so many devotees all around us. But then sometimes, we should know what is the proper way to actually take advantage of a devotee's association. Because otherwise we can just see devotees as like ordinary people, and then we just speak to them about like ordinary topics without actually like getting the spiritual knowledge from them. So in Bhagavad Gita 10.9, Krishna, he says, Majjita madgata prana bodhayantas parasparam katayantas jamam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. He says, the thoughts of my pure devotees always dwell in me. Their lives are fully surrendered to me, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from enlightening one another and conversing about me. So this is, the process of associating with devotees. It's that we hear from each other, we enlighten one another, we speak about the scriptures and share our realizations with each other. And in this way we can get so much inspiration from devotee association. Someone may also ask that Arjuna, he had Krishna personally present there. So it was easy that it was easy for him to have this change from complete confusion to complete clarity and confidence, because Krishna is God. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But we don't have direct access to Krishna like that, like Arjuna had. So how do we also bring about that change in our life from being confused to being completely clear about what our purpose is and like that? But it says that there's three ways that we can access spiritual knowledge, and one is through Shastra. So even though Krishna isn't personally present here, he left his teachings for all of us in the Bhagavad Gita. So by reading these teachings, that's just as good as associating with Krishna. And not only Bhagavad Gita, but we have so many other books. We have Srimad Bhagavatam. There's also so much knowledge of spirituality, of everything, of the creation of this world, of who we are, and so much knowledge is there in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So we have so many different shastras that teach us all about spiritual knowledge. And then, you can also ask that, okay, there's the shastra, but then that's not like personally, it might not be related personally to my particular situation. So I might not be sure like how to particularly apply this in my particular situation in my life. So then it said that apart from Shastra, there's two other things. There's Guru and there's Sadhus. So these two are representatives of Krishna. And so if we can find a person who is a bona fide spiritual master, who's someone who is a representative of Krishna, who speaks exactly according to Krishna's instructions, then we can approach them and explain to them like, I'm going through this particular situation in my life. What is the best way that I can apply spiritual knowledge to bring about this change from confusion to confidence? And so these people, because they have so much spiritual knowledge, and because they've been practicing spiritual knowledge for so long and have developed their relationship with Krishna, they can easily tell us that what is the best thing we can do to bring about this change in our life. So we should know that Krishna has a plan, that Krishna is our best friend, and that if we just follow Krishna's plan, that because Krishna, he knows us even better than we know ourselves, and that he always he wants our good. So we should have that faith in Krishna, in Krishna's plan. Like Arjuna in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, he was thinking that, no, I don't want to fight. But then at the end, he realized that actually this is Krishna's plan. And so that means it's meant for the ultimate good of me and for everybody else. Because Krishna always does everything for the good of everyone. So sometimes we can't see it. We're just thinking like, oh, why is this happening to me? But then if we understand that actually this is Krishna's plan, and even though I might not be able to see this now, like how this is actually for my good, but if we just trust that this is Krishna's plan, so I'll accept it, then after we'll see that actually this was for my good. That I learned so many things from this, and now I progress so much more in my life. So it said that Krishna consciousness is simple, but it's not easy. It's simple because all we have to do is align ourselves to Krishna's will, to Krishna's plan. But then that's not easy because we have so many of our own plans, so many of our own ideas. And often we're not willing to just give them up and align ourselves with what Krishna wants. And it's Krishna, he tests us in so many ways. Often we say that, Krishna, I surrender unto you. But then when some challenge comes, we think that, oh no, I don't want to follow your plan, Krishna. I need to do it my way. But Krishna, he tests us in so many ways. It says, like he tested Arjuna. Arjuna was on the battlefield there, and Krishna tested him that, are you willing to kill all of your relatives for me? So that's like a big test. And then it said he also tested Yudhisthira. Yudhisthira is Arjuna's older brother, and he was known as Dharmaraj, the king of religion, of Dharma. And it said that he was so truthful that in his entire life he never told a lie. But then there was one instance in the battle of Kurukshetra where they needed to tell Dronacharya that Ashwatthama was dead. And so Krishna told Arjuna that, can you say out loud so that Dronacharya hears that Ashwatthama is dead? And then at that moment, Yudhisthira, he hesitated. He said that, no, in my life I've never told a lie. I can't say that. But then eventually he did. But Krishna was testing him that, are you willing to give up your fame, your reputation, of being so truthful? That was like so dear to him. It was so much a part of his identity that I am truthful, I am Dharmaraj. Krishna said, are you willing to give that up for me? And at first he hesitated, but then he realized that, no, if this is Krishna's will, I have to give it up, however hard it might be. Because actually dharma means following Krishna. If we're truthful or if we're trying to be good, but it's not for Krishna's sake, then that is not good. If Krishna tells us that, no, you should give up your truthfulness, then we should do that. Because ultimately we're only truthful because Krishna wants us to be truthful. But if Krishna tells us don't be truthful, obviously that was like a particular situation. Normally Krishna always says, be truthful. Then we should be ready to give up even that for Krishna. And Krishna also, he tested Draupadi. When Draupadi was dragged into the assembly and they were trying to disrobe her. At first she was trying to protect herself. She was holding on to her clothes. And with one hand she was calling Govinda. But then when she fully surrendered to Krishna, and she put both of her arms up and she just said, Govinda, please protect me. So Krishna was testing, are you willing to let go of everything and just fully surrender onto me? And so, this is the conclusion of the Bhagavad Gita, the final teaching of Krishna. Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. He says, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions, do not fear. So Bhagavad Gita, it takes us on this journey from confusion to confidence. And the way we get there is through regularly hearing Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam from the different scriptures, and by serving the great devotees. And in this way we can become completely free from all anxiety, all confusion, all doubt that we face in life, just like Arjuna did in the Bhagavad Gita. And not just in this life, but Krishna says that if you surrender unto me, not only in this life will you be happy, but after, when you quit your body, in your next life, you'll come back to my eternal abode, where there's no more death, no more misery, no more disease, where everyone is just completely happy serving Krishna. So the Bhagavad Gita is a very wonderful book. It has so many valuable lessons to teach us. So everyone should read Bhagavad Gita, study Bhagavad Gita. Every evening here we have Bhagavad Gita class. If you're not able to come, it's also broadcast online, so you can always go online, Bhaktivedanta Manor, and listen. And it's very nice to hear Bhagavad Gita. It's changed so many people's lives in many ways. So I'll stop here. We have about 5 minutes left. If anyone has any comments, any corrections, any questions, or just anything you'd like to share about Bhagavad Gita or anything I've said, I'd be happy to hear from you.
Could you also watch it on YouTube as well?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. If you just go to Bhaktivedanta Manor Live, you'll find it.
Yeah. Media. Yeah, I often watch the Bhaktivedanta Manor on YouTube. So I must say I do feel more safe with the Hare Krishna devotees.
Yeah, it's much nicer to come if you can come. But maybe if you live far and it's difficult to come, then at least you can hear it.
People as well.
Yeah.
I believe in all that social side.
Yeah.
They do so much for people's lives. For the homeless people as well.
Yeah.
I often give the homeless people like food and money as well to them. Yeah, I'd like to do that.
I'll show you how to find out.
Oh, thank you, Samantha. Thanks for asking me that. Hey, Krishna.
Yeah, we're ready.
You were mentioning about the Guru Sadhu Shastra. First, to find the Guru, to find a person who we can truly trust. What advice would you give us in this regard?
How to find a proper guru. Yeah, so the bona fide guru is one who doesn't make up things themselves. Well, first of all, is a bona fide guru is one who comes in a bona fide disciplic succession. So it says that there are 4 bona fide disciplic successions, and that if you find a guru who is coming in a bona fide disciplic succession, that means that they're connected to Krishna, the source of knowledge, and if that, where knowledge is passed down purely from guru to disciple. And so if you take initiation from anyone in a bona fide spiritual knowledge who is following their teacher, then that is a bona fide guru. Yeah?
He said that Krishna made Arjuna fight and kill his basically family, but Krishna is supposed to always love everyone, so why did he make him kill people?
Yeah, it said that those kings were a burden to the earth because they were very sinful. And so to clear the burden of the earth, that Krishna wanted that this war happens. Because when there's too many sinful people on the earth, it says that Bhumi Devi, the earth is actually a goddess, Bhumi Devi, that she feels great difficulty. Like there's many instances in the Bhagavatam where Bhumi Devi, she goes to Lord Brahma and prays that there's too many demons on the earth now and I'm feeling such a great burden, that please help relieve this burden. So as Krishna comes, he says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata adbhutanam dharmasya tadatmanam shujamyaham. Krishna, he descends again and again to this world to destroy the miscreants and to reestablish the principles of religion. And so whenever it happens in the world that there's too many sinful people, that Krishna comes and he wipes out these sinful people so that religious principles can be reestablished within the world. And so in this battle of Kurukshetra, it was all these sinful kings who were a burden to the earth. It was Krishna's desire that the world be relieved of them.
Do you think Krishna could come back again to this world?
It says that Krishna...
to bring back peace and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good question. People often ask that because they say that now the world is like also there's so much sinful activities going on. Where is Krishna? So there's a verse that says, Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar Nama Hoite Haya Sarva Jagata Nishtar. It says that in this age of Kali, Krishna descends in the form of his name. So 500 years ago, Krishna, he descended to this world in the form of Lord Chaitanya. On the altar, you'll see we have Radha Gokulananda this side. There we have Sita, Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman. And then in the middle, we have these two small deities. So that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. And so that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, and Nityananda Prabhu is Balaram. And these two, they came 500 years ago to establish the process for spiritual realization for this age of Kali Yuga, which is Nam Sankirtan, chanting the holy names of Krishna. So I said that because Krishna is absolute, there's no difference between his form and his name. So that Prabhupada says, like, he gives the example that if you chant anything else,